So here's the MIDI pickup, and what I did to prepare this was there was a metal clip here that I took off, and that allowed me to basically turn this corner with these wires. They're much finer right here because I didn't want the wire coming out this end. So I did that, and then I put some shrink wrap around it. And the way I made these mounting posts is these are pickup springs with heat shrink wrapped around them and heated up a little bit. And then I drilled into the body there and here. And so this guy fits in pretty easily like this. Got to find the little hole. And always pre-drill. If you're ever going to drill into your, especially right here in the front of the guitar, if you're ever going to drill in, make a nice pilot hole. Start off backwards if you have to. It's bad enough drilling a hole in your guitar, but you don't want to chip up the finish also. Okay. So you see here, this is the piezo for the bridge, and so this line here just runs down through a hole in the Coca-Cola block here that's underneath the bridge. And so also this piezo bridge pickup transducer, just like that. And then this is the volume for the synth right here. And the plug for the synth is down here. Wiring up this jack turned out to be the most difficult part of the install. But I got lucky on this guitar because I already had this piece of brass that I had used for a different connector years ago. At one time this was a effects loop that had a multi-pin connector kind of like this one, but this is a 13-pin Roland Guitar synth connector. They're not too hard to find on eBay. It wasn't too expensive, but wiring up the 13 little wires certainly was not fun. So as you can see, with the active preamp and the circuit for the bridge plus this synthesizer pickup, it's pretty crowded in here. So here's all the circuitry for the guitar and the piezo preamp and the bridge, piezo pickup. Here's a MIDI cable. I bought a MIDI cable and I cut it down. I say MIDI, but it's actually 13. It's 4x3 here with an extra pin for your 13th pin. So this came soldered with these wires. I cut it to a certain length and then soldered those wires, all 13 of them, to this jack that I got off eBay, which wasn't too difficult to find, but basically I created a jumper. So there's the jack. Here's all the solder connections that I had to make, which was not fun. And so it's basically a male to female jumper plus a ground. And you've got to ground it to the GK-2a module. And so I usually just ground it right here. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to mount the synthesizer, the pickup electronics on the back side of the pick guard. And so the way I did that was I figured out where my circuit board wanted to go. Then by using a ruler, I triangulated the coordinate of the holes that I'm going to use, marked that on 2 pieces of tape on either side to give me my 2 holes that correspond to this. I removed the volume potentiometer from the Roland unit, which was attached right here to these 3 pins. So I desoldered that guy, and I found a potentiometer that I had in my collection that was of similar value, and it actually works pretty good. So with this volume controls the synth, this volume controls the magnetic pickups, and then this one controls the bridge pickups. So then what I do now is this connection here, after I put this back together, will connect to here, and you got to be real gentle with these defined pins. So that's going to connect like that, and this is going to mount on the back of this with a couple bolts. I'm going to put a little bit of padding in between the circuit board just to knock down any vibrations that might be affecting that board. So now I've got my board mounted to the back of the cover plate here for the cavity. I got my foam in between, and this is somewhat snug, but a little bit loose. I didn't want to put any pressure on the board there. And so now that fits right back in like that. And then all I have to do is just put this cavity back together.
Thank you.